Alright, today I'm going to go over how to assemble this Home Sweet Home project. But before I do, I just want to point out a couple of different details. In the file there are three different options that you can choose. You can put it together like this, where it's just a simple design here that hangs on the wall with a hole up here. So you can do it that way. There's also another one just like this that extends down a little further and has the holes to put these hooks in to hang keys from right here. And then the third version is the one I'm going to show you today. It's this one here that comes with a shelf, and you can also hang keys down below. And I intentionally did not glue this one together so that we could talk about it for just a minute. So let's talk about how this goes together. So I'm going to move these off to the side. Just for sake of time, I didn't want to have to glue this all together in front of you, so I've got the letters glued onto this back piece here already. And I'll go ahead and pull this out. This is a very tight fit, which we'll talk about in just a minute as well. So, the pieces you have in the set include this back piece here that has a hole for hanging. And then it also comes with this particular shelf and 4 hooks like this. And then a small little half circle piece like this that supports the shelf if needed. So that comes all in the set. Now you can use any kind of material that you'd like on this. The only time that the thickness or the material matters is if you're going to do things like this for the shelf and for the key rings. If you're just going to do the original first one, it doesn't matter at all what thickness or what material you use, because none of the pieces need to fit together. So bear that in mind. Also, I did include in the file set a set for the 1/4 inch the 1/4 inch plywood from OcoochHardwoods.com. It's something I use a lot, and that's this here. As a matter of fact, this is, I believe this is birch that we stained. And then in the other pieces I'll show you in just a minute, I also used walnut and maple in this particular one. Now let me stop here and say what I always say about any of these. It does not matter what material you use. You must, or I highly recommend that you measure the thickness first and compare it with the slots in the design to make sure that it does fit. I'll give you a great example, not to make this video any longer, but all 3 of these materials come from the same manufacturer, and they say that they're all 1/4 inch, but they all measure just ever so slightly different. And so they fit these slots and these tabs a little bit different. This is extremely tight, where the the birch is not tight, but the maple and the walnut is very tight. So just make sure that you do a couple test cuts to make sure that everything fits, and adjust the slots if needed. So let me keep going. So you have the back piece here, and so you can cut that guy out. And then I've got 2 different layers here of this outline. You can, in the file there's only one, but I just cut it twice because I wanted to see what it looked like with the different colors of wood. And then I realized I could also go ahead and stack it on top of each other if I wanted to when I assembled it, because I really like the depth of that look there as well. So you would cut that, either use 1 or 2 layers, whatever you want. And then you cut these individual letters and glue them onto the back piece. I highly recommend that you use a brush for your glue. I did not. I got a little lazy, and so you can see a little bit of glue here and there, but I recommend that you do use a brush. It'll make it easier. Then you can line it up right in there wherever you like it. Take your hearts. Now there's also an inside smaller heart piece that's also cut that you can use if you want to have a couple different layers in there. I chose just to use these 2 and glue them together, but you can do whatever you want there. Put it right up there and glue it there. And again, you can see what it looks like that way. Or you can do this way, or you can just do the single layer with the maple as well. Whatever look you like. And glue that in there. Once you have that glued in there, you can then take your shelf piece if you're doing that part. Let's see if I can push this in here on camera. That's always fun. Yep, that seemed to work. And then I already put the other pieces in there, but you can put I'll put the last key hanger right here. And it is very tight. So depending again on what material you use, you might want to adjust that. There's that. And then in the set also I included a small little key ring that you could cut out, and you can just hang it right on there. and you are good to go. See if I can pick this up without dropping anything. But that's what that looks like there. I think you're really going to love it. Feel free to paint, stain, leave it as raw wood, whatever look you desire. I think it's going to look fantastic. You could even put like a red acrylic heart up there. Really have fun doing different things with it and see what kind of looks you want. You can also resize this whole thing to make it bigger or smaller. Just bear in mind, if you are doing these slots here for these keyring hangers, you must maintain those sizes of those slots when you're resizing, otherwise this will not fit. I've got some videos on that if you need help, and I'll try to remember to link that in the description as well. Have fun with this design. I think you're really going to enjoy it, and shoot me any questions you have, and I'll see you in the next one.